Hello and welcome to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown. I'm joined by Eddie Tofpik, who is Head of FX at ADMISI. Thank you for coming onto the show today. We're going to kick off with three major currency pairs. Starting off with old favourite, euro-dollar.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing there is we've had the first target, which is marked with the red X, the single red X, has been achieved, which was the little head and shoulders top, the crown. The larger one, that's really not managed to go there yet. That's going to be X2. But in the meantime, also, we're looking for potentially a move down to X1, which would be the head and shoulders target itself. Now, we've not really managed that. It's pausing now, and it's caught between the neckline on the upside and this area of support, which is around about the 116.05 to 116.14-16 area. It's just resting in between there at the moment. It could actually turn out and make a bear flag, and then that would be achieved. But you've got a hell of a lot of support between 115.10 and 114.66. We are below the medium moving average and above the long, so realistically we're in towards a neutral market at the moment. We're not pushing down, but what's caused that neutral market is this bearish or bearish upon bearish formation, which is moving the market lower, and I think it's still going to be carrying on potentially at the moment. There's nothing indicating to try higher other than the fact that the MAs are still moving higher, but the market is heading down because of that.
And could this support turn into resistance then if we see it trade through?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, the support, which was a neckline, has turned into resistance. We've got a further resistance further up, which is all the action over October, which is between roughly 117.25 and say 119, is now an overhang above the market, pushing down on the actual action at the moment. And it's whether that plays itself out fully. I think it still will at the moment. There's nothing indicated it's going to turn around at the moment.
And if we do see a sell-off, are we going to see any kind of support around what, 114, 112? Well, I mean, how far can we go?
114.66 to 115.10, that's the real band of support. That would be enough to do for this market, but if you really wanted to go, then you've got to go down to long moving average, and that's trading around about 112.60, 112.70. Does it look as if it's going to go there? At this particular point, not yet, but it is something that's to bear in mind. Anything can change in the meantime, but at the moment it is still a bearish outlook. The market is turning that way. Understood.
And moving on to euro sterling.
Yeah.
What's this telling us?
Well, this is actually quite interesting. This is a neutral market because we're between the medium and the long moving average, but we moved down towards the long moving average, and yesterday's action was very, very interesting. It dipped down below the long moving average and then closed back up of it, effectively a bull hammer formation. And there's been a little bit of a follow through today, but it's this whole action that we're seeing September, October, that could be a big halfway hesitation. It could mean that the beginning of September to the mid-September, that is one leg down, and we're now on the second leg. If that's the case, then we're looking down potentially to X1. X marked on the chart is actually the target for the double top that we've formed over October. So we've got pressure on the downside in two forms, double top, halfway hesitation. The thing that's supporting at the moment is the long moving average, and it's having a good whack at that. And it's but bear in mind, the previous time it did that, which was back in late September, it bounced up quite significantly. So this is a further attempt, a more serious attempt. But if this fails, then we're going to be pushing up through 90.25, which is where the resistance is effectively at the moment, and even higher potentially.
Good. So one to watch, currently in a neutral state. And finally, let's look at the Great British Pound versus the dollar. Always an interesting one.
Well, this one actually, yeah, with what's happening, it's a question mark over it. There's two things it could be. This could be a double bottom, in which case we're going to be moving back up again to 136.5. Or this is actually, again, like in euro sterling, a halfway hesitation, in which case we're pushing down below the long moving average, below to 128.5, and possibly testing down to about 127.5. The thing is, I can't tell at the moment because there's nothing giving me any direction to it. We're getting lower highs, lower lows. It's actually going neutral, sideways, even though we're using the medium moving average as basically a trailing uptrend. I mean, that's at the moment at 130.83. Two consecutive closes below that, that's the next direction going down. Two consecutive closes above 133.25, that's the next direction on the other side.
So lots to look out for there. Fantastic. Eddie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.